Over these past couple of years, I've read quite literally over 60 self-improvement, marketing, sales, and psychology books. This book is the most important though. This is what allowed me to build a multi-six-figure marketing agency by the time I even turned 19 years old. Dropped out of college partially because of the topics and things that I've learned in this book, and I completely changed my life, okay? I'm not telling you guys all this to brag, but I'm only telling you this as proof and social proof as to how you can do the exact same. This is the one book that changed it all, Reality Transurfing. I talk a lot about it on this channel, and in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how you can use the techniques taught in this book without even having to read this book. Obviously, I recommend you pick it up and read it, but I'm going to be telling you the key takeaways that I took away from this book and how you can implement them in your life as well to completely change your life, like literally change your life. It was a complete 180 emotionally, physically, who I became, my business, everything before and after reading this book. Now, the first point I have for you guys in this book is that changing your life does not require more YouTube videos. And yes, it's kind of counterintuitive, but I was the guy, business owner, the self-improvement dude back in high school where I had multiple tabs open on my computer. I'd be watching YouTube videos on like one screen, the next screen would be another one, and then I have another tab open on this other queued up YouTube video. You don't need more YouTube videos, okay? You do not need to watch more self-improvement, implementation, information videos. Even though I say this and I'm a content creator myself, you don't need it. You need implementation. And I tell people on sales calls all the time, agency owners and software companies, they have actually reached out to me from this YouTube channel because I started a year and a half, 2 years ago. This is actually my 300th YouTube video on this freaking channel, which is pretty exciting. But it just goes to show that when I started my first YouTube video, I didn't speak very well. I wasn't as confident. I didn't know exactly what to say. It was scary staring at a camera, or at the time it was a phone, and talking to it. It was uncomfortable. I was realizing to myself and telling myself, who the hell does this full time? Slowly, your belief patterns change. And when you take that first step into actually doing the thing, you start to become that person little by little. So you don't need more information. You just need more implementation, because let's be honest here, you're probably going to watch another YouTube video after this one. Probably have one queued up after this one. You probably have one in your search bar. Are you already thinking of what I should watch next? You don't need to do it. My actionable advice after you finish watching these next 2 or 3 points in this video is to do the thing that you feel led to do. Like this morning, I was like, wow. Looked at my channel and I was like, okay, I've been doing a lot of breakdown, how to sign $5,000 to $20,000 a month retainers, as a marketing agency. I've been talking all about these systems, outreach systems. And I just figured out, I was like, wow, this wasn't really why I started the YouTube channel. I started this YouTube channel. I started this entire channel just based off the books that I read. I wanted to share as much insight as possible about every single marketing, sales, psychology, self-improvement book that I read. And so I was figuring out myself this morning. I was thinking, I was like, wow, I've kind of gone away from that. And although I talk about reality transurfing a lot, and one of the principles in this book is called excess potential. It's when you put too much increased importance on something that you want, like a desire, it actually starts to build friction and do the opposite of being magnetized towards you. It actually repels it, because you're putting so much importance on this thing has to happen in order for me to feel this way, or this thing has to happen in order for me to do this, which goes back to, you do not need to build up more information and build up excess potential. All you need to do is take actionable steps towards your goal, and that will change your life. I can't tell you what way will change your life, because many of you guys watching this video are starting a business, already have a business that's doing $10,000 or $20,000 a month, kind of like me, and you are trying to scale it up, right? Many of you guys are debating dropping out of college or pursuing a different job or career path, or should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do that? You're probably in your 20s, 30s, 40s, whatever, or you're a teenager. You're watching this video because you want to change your life in some aspect of your life. And so I can't tell you exactly what action to take, but I can tell you that the more you stack up information, the more you have to think about it. I face this in objections. I used to face this a lot on sales calls. I have to think about it, because there's so much information. There's so many unclear answers called objections that come up in the prospect's head during a sales call. And it sort of comes down to, I have to think about it, because it's basically, they can't compute it because it's too much information. They can't verbally articulate it to the salesperson because They don't feel comfortable talking to the salesperson because they already know they're trying to sell them, which again is a bad job in sales. But regardless, the entire point here is that they're so stacked up with so much information, they cannot make any change. And the only way for you to change your life, I went from working a job that I hated, right? And this is like, I'm not saying I came from anything bad or anything like that. I'm just saying I was in a place that I didn't want to be in. I saw myself doing this thing, creating YouTube videos and all this other stuff, but I didn't think I could actually do it. And so that leads me to point number 2, which is when you feel scared, that's your time to jump. Now, there's a few Navy SEALs like Jocko Willink, I think on a few podcasts that I've mentioned this before, but they said they've done studies, and doctors and PhDs have done studies to where when your brain feels the most scared, that's the best time to take action. Because the longer you think about it, it's this little like graph. The longer you think about it, the longer you're going to delay it. And then even if you do take the action later on down the line, it's not going to be as committed. It's not going to be like, boom, you committed. It's going to be like half-assed commitment. And so when you feel most scared, which is probably right now, in order to do that thing, you don't need another YouTube video. You don't need to, download another PDF or something like that. You need to just take action. And this happens with me all the time. I used to book calls with mentors that are now my mentors that I would be scared to hop on calls with because I knew their programs were expensive, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, right? And I knew I needed the help. And I knew they were the experts in sales and this type of funnel and this and that. And I was just so scared to hop on the phone call with them because I knew they were going to sell me. And one, that's not a bad thing because you don't need to be sold in order to see value in it. I was already sold by watching your YouTube channel. And I would watch these guys on YouTube all day. And I'd be like, damn, I really need to join up on this program. And yet I still feel like, oh, I'm a victim. I'm going to be sold. They're going to do this. They're going to take my money. It's not even like that. These guys and girls know they can bring life-changing results to your business, to your life, or to whatever. But you're so scared you can't even book in a call, even though you know it's going to change your life. But that's what moves the needle forward. And if I didn't jump on the call, I finally told myself, I said, boom, we're going to jump on a call with them. Jumped on the call. And of course, they were like, yeah, you're a good fit to do this. You're in a lot of pain. You need help, which is true. This happens all the time with me in my business too. My closer gets on sales calls. He goes, I'm not trying to be pitched. I'm not trying to be pitched. And he goes, look, I'm not even trying to pitch you right now. I'm trying to see if we can even help you out. And if we can't, then boom, you're going to go over there. I'll point you in the right direction. But if we can, of course I'm going to pitch you because I know for a fact we can deliver life-changing results. So this happens in my business all the time. And then it turns out they're in a really bad spot, situation, event, circumstance, and they need help. And so that's when you need to make the decision because guess what? At all times I made a decision with all these coaches and consultants and mentors that have changed my life is times where I was so uncomfortable, where I actually didn't really have the money. Sometimes I would borrow it off of my dad's credit card. I say, look, I'll pay this amount on my credit card. Can we do this on yours? You have a higher credit limit. I'll pay you back in 30 days. I need this. Can you just give me a 30-day runaway window? Maybe like, okay, cool, whatever. You got 30 days. Right? So next 30 days go by. Next 10 days, you sign a client, $5,000. Boom. Paid them off. So that being said, it's like, it was so scary in the moment. It's scary as hell paying that person. It's scary as hell jumping on the call. It's super scary to do this thing, apply here, do that, read this book, do this, whatever. Everybody has different levels of risk, but it's scary. And that scaredness leads me into point number 3, which is this it's this sort of metaphor, not really metaphor. It's this comparison I'm gonna tell you guys about. So imagine there's 2 planes flying in the air above the clouds. They're at 30,000 feet, 30, 40, whatever. They're about to skydive, okay? One person on the skydiving plane is a professional skydiver. He's been doing it or she's been doing it for 20, 30, 40 years, okay? She's super accustomed to jumping off planes. She loves it. It's her job. Skydiver over here. Other plane is a, let's say, 20-year-old person who's never even been on a plane before. All right, this person's 20 years old, they've never been on a plane, and yet they're still gonna be doing the same thing, skydiving off a plane. Okay, when the doors open, people step forward. They say, okay, now it's time to go. You got to go right now. Got to jump off. Time to skydive. The energy is there for both of them. Energy is neutral in this universe, and this is what Reality Transurfing teaches you as well. Reality is yours to craft because the energy is neutral. But the person who has skydived on multiple occasions, does it for a job, gets paid to do it, loves it, is amazed with it, super comfortable, super confident with it, transmutes that energy into confidence, belief, excitement, joy. Person over here transmutes that energy into fear, scarcity, lack, death. In other words, thoughts in their head. I mean, this would probably be me too if I was the skydiver right now. Like, shit, I'm gonna die. I've never jumped off a plane before. This is super scary. This is crazy. But guess what? This other skydiver, or the professional skydiver, is excited. They're actually looking forward to it. They're saying, okay, can I go right now? I'm ready to go. Notice how the energy right there is the exact same. The energy that's flowing into their bodies and that's around them, that they feel through the adrenaline and everything like that, is the exact same. It's just transmuted differently based off belief patterns, confidence, experience, and things like that. So my best advice to you is, if you're going to make that jump, if you're looking to book that call, not even with me, I'm not even trying to pitch myself here. I'm saying if you're even looking to take the next step forward in your life, do it from the version of yourself that has already done it. And I've used techniques in here that talk about getting into meditative states to where you can slow down your brain waves and you can kind of start to imagine the life you would live if you made those decisions. So if you just take a deep breath, like take a deep breath and you close your eyes and you start to imagine the person that made that decision that you're going to make, made that decision themselves about 6 months ago. Okay. And then what happened 5-6 months later? The knowledge that they gained, the experience that they gained, the expertise that they gained, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You can plug it into your own custom situation. But where would they be 6 months down the line? Probably thriving just based off the knowledge, wisdom, expertise, and experience that they gained from doing that thing that you're scared to do. And so now, where are they right now? And so you imagine yourself living that life, being that person. What are they doing? How are they doing it? Things like that. So that's what I do. And you open up your eyes and then you take the action. Because guess what? The actions that you have been taking about quote unquote changing your life haven't been working because you're still on this YouTube video and you're still watching this channel. Okay. And obviously this channel is business psychology, self-improvement. It's amazing. You guys should subscribe. But the entire point here is that you have been making the same decisions. And I have to catch myself doing this as well over and over and over and over and over again. And so it's not until you actually make an unconventional decision and an unconventional action to get an unconventional result, as opposed to conventional actions getting conventional results of what you've been doing. And so you have to do things differently. And once you start doing things differently, meaning investing your money here, doing this, that, signing up for this, doing it right here, it's uncomfortable at first, but then it becomes native. And it becomes very, very, very comfortable. Because everything was once uncomfortable. Everything new was once uncomfortable to a certain extent. And now it's not new anymore. It's comfortable. It's, well, I just do this. Every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I just turn on the camera and talk. I just do it. Yeah, it was hard the first couple of months, but now I've 300 videos up now. I just do it. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even faze me anymore. I just look at the camera and just talk. It doesn't even faze me. I honestly could talk here for 20, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 50 minutes. It doesn't matter to me. It just does not faze me anymore, okay? At all. That's only because I had to have that discipline for a short amount of time, okay? The last point I want to get into right here is how to change your life, not necessarily just with this book. This book teaches it as well, is being authentic. In Reality Transurfing, Vadim Zeland talks about authentic energy and how exactly you have to use your authenticity to tell your story, be your person, do whatever, and stop chasing money, business, status, stuff like that. Now, being authentic will give you all of those things, money, business, status, whatever, instead of just chasing those things. Let me give you guys a quick tangible example so you guys can understand a little bit better. When I started this YouTube channel, it was obviously just talking about marketing, sales. I was talking about books, talking about mindset, and I was just being super, super, super creative with it. Over these past couple of months, I sort of transitioned this YouTube channel into being business, funnels, software, how to do this, how to do that, how to do that. And it was honestly kind of stressful because one, I had to come up with all these ideation results and creative things to talk about and make these thumbnails that would convert in this B2B space. It was honestly kind of overwhelming for me because I was thinking, wow, this is not even why I started this fucking YouTube channel. I started this damn YouTube channel to speak my mind, to share my insights and to help other people and document the process of me building up my agency and building up my marketing business as a whole and just seeing the level of transformation, okay? You can go back to the videos and see me do that too. Now, I realized that I was shifting away from being authentic. And videos like this make me feel like I'm being authentic again because I'm sharing my insights, I'm sharing my personal values, I'm sharing exactly how I've done the thing and you can too. I'm not telling you exactly how to do it. I'm just telling you from my personal experience, this is how I changed my life, right? So being authentic will still give you the clients. I had this belief that, damn, okay, if I talk about books and if I be myself, I'm just going to repel the customers that are meant for me, and I'm not talking business, and it's not going to be good because business people don't want to watch this. That's not true at all. Business people are still business people. Business people still have a heart, a mind, and a soul, hopefully. Okay. And so they still watch this type of content, and it builds even more know, like, and trust factor with me too. So even those that are on the fence about potentially, scaling their agency or whatever like that, people who are still sort of on the fence about that know that they still watch these videos. Like, and I thought back to all these coaches and mentors that I invested $5, $10, $15,000 in each. I thought to myself, well, what piece of content that they posted that I really enjoyed watching that made me feel sort of closer to them as a human being? And it wasn't the success stories. It wasn't that I did this, I did that. It was how I did this and what I'm currently going through, because it humanized them. It made them be more like a human, because let's be honest, these people that are making $200,000, $300,000 a month, they don't seem like they're human to somebody who's only making 20, 30, 40, 50K a month, right? They don't even seem like they're a human at that point. They just seem like they're just like a robot, a machine. But when they get relatable, when they start talking about the personal life, their struggles, their events, what they've been through, who they are, what they dealt with, you start to sort of get back down on their level almost and be like, okay, wow, I can really resonate with you here. So that's the entire point of this video, is to build more authenticity with myself and with my audience too, to show them that, look, y'all, I'm still sorting this out, right? Yes, I've scaled to only 6 figures a year before I turned 19. Like, yes, I've read all these books. I'm still doing the stuff. I'm still taking the actions daily. I'm still getting uncomfortable. I'm still booking the calls with the mentors, the coaches. I'm still doing the thing, okay? I'm not over here sitting on some pedestal talking down to people saying, you need to do this, you need to do that. No, I'm still telling you what I'm doing on a daily basis. I'm still doing this, okay? So, with that being said, those are the 3 steps that I would use. I'll recap them right now. Less information, more implementation, which means more doing, take the action. Number 2 is write down what you're feeling scared to do. At least 3 or 4 things that you're feeling scared to do that have been on your mind, that you've been contemplating about doing, and take action on one of them, because that's your time to jump. Number 3 is use that analogy I talked about with skydiving, about how everybody is given, energy is not bias. It's just energy, okay, in this entire universe or whatever. Our belief systems, thoughts, experiences, we assign meaning to that energy, and that meaning and the energy makes it good or bad in our heads about, holy God, I need to avoid this, or let's jump into this. Literally, as the skydiving metaphor. Think about that. Number 4, be authentic with what you're doing. I'm not saying make a YouTube channel and talk about your experience and document the process. You don't need to do that, okay? If that's not your calling per se, it's not your calling, it doesn't matter. It's cool. But do what feels natural to you. Do what feels natural to you, whether it's on some other platform on social media, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, or it's something else, doing this thing over here, or maybe it's learning about this skill. Just do whatever feels natural, because guess what? The clients have appeared in my life. The money has appeared in my life whenever I most needed it, by just being myself. I was like, I don't even know how this is going to get me a client, but I upload a YouTube video about some random subject, and some dude comes through the funnel. He's like, hey, watching you for a while, need help with this. Here, I'm paying you $5K to do that. So that's a huge thing. Self-image is another huge thing. We're not going to talk about this in this video, but I'll briefly recap how self-image will help you grow. If you only see yourself and your agency, business, life, whatever, charging a certain amount, being a certain amount, doing a certain amount, you will only stay accustomed to your self-image. I only saw myself as charging $1,500 a month retainers for these local businesses. I was like, wow, this is only as much as I can charge. I cannot charge anymore. And then I just told myself one day, I was so sick of them. And most of my clients turned because cash flow dipped, payroll dipped. They had to cut out my marketing agency as a marketing service. It sucked, right? About a year and a half ago. And so what happened then was I said, boom, I'm charging $5K a month for my agency. And then if agency owners want to learn about this, I'm charging $5K or $6K. I was like, boom, that's what we're charging. And so I just told myself that's what we're doing. And from that day forward, situations, events, circumstances, people started to enter my life that reflected that. Guy from my YouTube channel right here hit me up on Instagram, said, hey, I want to do this one. How much is it? Told him $5K, said, let's do it. Sent over the invoice that day, paid it on Stripe. Over here, I was talking about this certain thing on my YouTube channel. Again, in my head, I'm worth $5,000, $6,000 up front. This is what we charge to install the system, to get you, to scale you 2x your MRR, book you 30 qualified calls in a day, or 30 qualified calls in a month, whatever. And I was telling myself, this is how much I'm worth. This is just it. This is the baseline. Another guy comes through the funnel a few days after, 6K, paid in full. So when you change your self-image and you start to see yourself as the person that's already charging that amount, already doing that thing, already did it, you start to become a different person by the second. And that's an extremely powerful thing, okay? So I highly recommend any of you guys, I'm not sponsored by Reality Transurfing. That would be crazy if I was, though. I highly recommend every single one of you guys to actually pick up this book and read it. It absolutely changed my life. These past 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes, I don't even know how long it's been, have recapped how this exact book, I've used strategies and situations in the book that I have read to completely transform my life. And you can do the exact same. Thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Let me know if you guys like this one. I'll see you guys later. Peace.